93.97 Network and Hot 93.97 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. Brought to you by Haylove Saloon, Adam's Apple, Janet'sCloset.com, and Janet'sDungeon.com.
97.
Initiating launch sequence.
There we go. Good morning. Just in time for the intro. That we do. Good morning. Monday morning. I love Monday.
Monday. Oh, Monday. Thank God it's Monday. My number one day. Back in the saddle at work I can shine. I love the rat race and the starting line. It's Monday. Thank gosh it's Monday. Sing with me. It's Monday. Thank gosh it's Monday.
You're the only moron in the whole world who actually likes Monday.
Thank gosh it's Monday. The yum day.
Freestyle.
Have a great day.
Oh, two or three.
Yeah, come on, Tommy, sing with me. Thank gosh it's Monday.
Thank gosh it's Monday. Thank gosh it's Monday.
M-O-N-D-A-Y.
M-O-N-D-A-Y. It's Monday.
Oh man, happy Monday indeed. Waking up from a long weekend of fun and games. Time to get back to reality. I love Mondays. I think you know that by now, but Monday morning is my wheelhouse. I had to really look at my clock or my phone today to see what day it was. And I know it was Monday because yesterday was Sunday. And I know this, but it doesn't matter. I love me a Monday morning, baby. You know, the week actually starts on Sunday. So if you get your week started on a Monday, you're already a day behind the cue ball, so to speak. And make sure these volumes are, at least they look like they're at the right level. So welcome back to life. It's Monday morning. I think there's something wrong with me for real. I love a good Monday morning. I can't help it. It's the way it is. It is almost mid-April. We are into April 11th. Baseball season started. Spring is in the air. You can see the trees in the north budding. If you're in the south or if you're somewhere there is no trees, I'm sorry for your luck. I don't know how you do it, but there is areas like that, I reckon. Today, we're going to, we usually start. I had a crappy story to start with. I could. It's America, the weekend. We could start that way, but we're not gonna. It's National Pet Day. I love my pets. Everybody loves their pets. Almost everybody, right? For what most? We'll focus on the ones who love their pets. It's National Pet Day. I posted mine on our social media page, my Sapphire Pates page. So go there to the Sapphire'S Soup du Jour page and post your pet. Any picture. Doesn't have to be a dog. Doesn't have to be a cat. Maybe it's a bearded dragon. A legal pet. All right. We don't need your pet alligator that you keep in the back of your pickup truck in a pool. We don't want that. Well, it would be a cool picture. But just no identifying marks of who it is or anything like that. Of course, if you put it on social media, you're identified. That's one of the things people don't realize. There's a trail for everything nowadays, no matter what. We got a lot to talk about today. Some of it's funny, some of it's not so funny, some of it's serious. Like food quality in America. We talk about food scarcity, right? We talk about hungry children, but we're going to talk about the food that we are consuming. At what level is it being considered acceptable, right? So, and it is National Pets Day. Today is a day to recognize our pets. I'm not going to get into, I will say adopt, don't shop, but we're not going to get into that today because all animals deserve a good home, no matter how they were brought here. So, National Pet Day, we're going to talk about pets, not what's the best way to go about it, right? Today, however, right, we do love our pets every day. Today, though, is the observance of encouraging people to help out orphaned pet companions. In other words, rescue. But we're not going to get into the whole rescue, adopt, shop, all of that, okay? It's about the pets, not about human beliefs and all that. It's very disheartening, right? But Easter's coming. So Pet Day, we're going to do a public service, kind of. Just a little. All right, let's turn the background music up just a smidge. That might help. All right, we'll figure it out. Thank you, Stu, chiming in. Yeah, we got Stu commenting in. Morning, girl. Don't hear any background music. He's chiming in on social media, on the stream live, the live stream we're doing. We do not only 93.97 Network app is the best way to listen to not only Sapphire'S Soup Jour, which you're hearing right now, all of our shows, right? We got a whole lineup of shows. So you go on the app, you can look and see exactly what time and who's doing what and all that. Chime in on that, or on the live stream on Facebook, 93.97 Network's Facebook and YouTube, as well as Sapphire'S Soup du Jour Facebook page. You can find our video live streaming. You can chime in right there like Stu did. And then look at that. You get your name and picture, everything right up on the screen. Yeah. No background music. We're working on it. The engineer, who's me, working it out. Yeah. So, happy Monday. I mean, if you're one of those who don't like Mondays, I feel bad for you, but I understand. We've been trained that way. Isn't that the way we do it? Everything we do in our life, we're trained that way. You know, what we hear at the dinner tables at night from our parents indoctrinates us into a sort of thought process. All right, let's see here what we got. You know, what we hear at the dinner tables at no background music is right. Indoctrinates us into a sort of thought process. All right, let's see here what we got. Oh, well. We'll get it worked out. So, you know, the background music ain't important as long as I keep talking, I reckon. As long as we stay on the air, we're good to go. And so back to the pets. We make sure this is right here. Okay. We have to today make sure, because like I said, we're talking about National Pet Day and Easter's coming. Perhaps it's better to get chocolate bunnies than real bunnies or chickens. Do people do that still? Little chiclets for Easter for the kids, for a pet. It's having a rabbit is different than having any other kind of animal, right? If you've had cats or dogs, they're expensive. It's like $300 to get one neutered or spayed. And it's something that they can't survive in the wild. Okay? So here's what happens. Just like what happened with when the pandemic started. When the pandemic started in March of 2020, all the shelters in America were empty. There were no more animals to rescue because we were all getting companions. And then as the restrictions lifted and we went back to work and about our lives, lo and behold, the shelters refilled. Now, partially the shelters refilled due to more rescued dogs off the streets, partially due to returned animals. Could you imagine as a child, you grow up? Well, no, you're not. You didn't grow up. You're growing up, right? And things haven't gone well because you haven't been given the right tools yet. So at 7 years old, your mom and dad walk you back into the hospital, into the birthing section, and go, we're going to turn this one back in. It's not working out so well. Good with other kids, but just doesn't listen at home. And walk out the door and watch the kid looking at you walking out the door. And the dog or the cat that's being surrendered for that reason, or the bunny rabbit, has no clue why. So they're sitting there. Now their whole world is devastated over a human inconvenience, right? We taught the animal to be the way they are. So with the Easter basket gifts, there's do's and don'ts. Don't get a live animal for a child if you're not prepared to know about the animal and take care of it for life. Not for, well, it didn't work out very well. It got a little bigger than expected. Well, you didn't do your homework and you're a dunce. So Easter's a week away. And even I'm saying it to bring awareness, but rabbit advocates, there's probably a rabbit advocate group, RAG, urging people to not buy bunnies or chicks as holiday gifts for children. Not only about that, they become aggressive if they're not spayed or neutered, and getting a female rabbit spayed can cost more than $300. So oftentimes what happens is the rabbit matures, bites the child no longer wants to take care of it. Bunnies that are purchased as Easter gifts are more often abandoned outside than surrendered properly by parents who think the rabbits will survive on their own in the wild. They will not. It's not only different diet, but they have no survival instincts. So animals out there, they won't know there's trouble. They have no defense mechanism built in, right? So like a human, we have a defense mechanism built in. If we see a bear, most people with common sense would see a bear and do everything they can to avoid detection and confrontation. Well, if you have no idea that the bear's about to eat you possibly, you just walk up to it and go, oh, look, a bear. How cool. Stu, good point. Stu chimes in on our Facebook live stream. I wish they could not be sold. Correct. I do too. Or in order to purchase one, you have to have knowledge of what it's about, right? Because we want people to purchase things responsibly. You can't just go buy a rabbit and go, hey, we're good to go. You know what I mean? There's more to it. I don't know anything about bearded dragons. My partner, we had one. Fell in love with it. Won't touch it. Will not touch it. No, ma'am, pain. Okay. I still fed it. I took my old eyelash tweezers and I'd pick up the worms and drop it in the tank, and then the thing would go. And then she'd get these things called super worms that are like the size of your pinky finger. And you could just see it. It was like biting into a chicken wing bone. Oh, not that I do that, but you know, you get that hungry man every now and again, and they just can't wait. Just chow down on it. So there's a lot more to it. Rabbits can become aggressive if they're not spayed or neutered. It costs a lot of money to spay or neuter one. Go buy one. You get the cage, you get the bedding, you get the food, you get the toys. You just spend a bunch of money. Now you find out you got to get it fixed. What? And they will not survive on their own in the wild. They have no instinct. They usually meet a quick death from a dog or a hawk. There's more to it. Imagine any animal, a family of squirrels. Think about it. I know for me living where I live, I have squirrels, we have possums, we have rabbits, we have every day in our backyard. You'd think we lived out in the middle of the woods. It's beautiful. We love it, right? We love it. Man, all they want to do, like the squirrels are there every year. They get out every day. It's the same two squirrels. They get out, they run around and play. They're probably siblings. They get out and run around and play. I haven't asked them what their pronouns are, but you know. So, because that's important now, I guess. So dumb. Anyway, they're out there playing around, and they're siblings. They tend to each other. Like you'll see a dead animal on the road, another one laying by it or near it or something. And it's like my partner's laying there unresponsive. They don't know like we know. Like, wow, they're dead. They know they're dead more than likely, but they don't understand the concept like we think we do. All because we wanted to get one for our kid. And then all of a sudden now we're affecting, I don't know if there's a soul in animals, but a life, right? You don't think ants want to live? Try to just go touch one, watch it run, try to scare it. It'll run trying to hide. So it's got a defense mechanism, right? It's scared of you. So it's running. So when we step on it and we don't care, we just go, oh, I ain't having that in my house. There's a family waiting for that ant that is just as important as the kids waiting for you to get your ass home tonight. Right? And I'll tell you something, I regretted it, but the other day, there was an ant in my house. It's springtime up here where I live, and I took it on a piece of paper, and I got it outside. No, it was on a water bottle. So I took the water bottle, set it outside, ant lived. I felt great about myself. Well, I tried to do it again for the other day, and I picked it up on the piece of paper. It ran off the edge and jumped. It's a long way down for an ant. I'm 5'9", and I was holding it up at about, neck high. So, you know, it took a little bit of a dump. I have no idea where it went. It probably is sleeping in my bed. Oh, I always hate that. I always think about that. If there's bugs in the house, you know where they end up. Oh, and you're sleeping, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. So, anywho, back to the advice. Whoever does this, please don't. The best advice for Easter is to give a stuffed animal or a chocolate bunny instead of a real one, or both. Right? If you cannot afford a stuffed bunny and a chocolate bunny for your child, you most certainly cannot afford to properly care for a live rabbit. Just some friendly advice from the girl next door. Next door to the bathhouse, maybe. I cannot believe it is already 7:21. We haven't even started the show yet. There's so many ways to go. There's so much that goes on over the weekends, right? You got the Tiger Woods story. What an amazing ultimate. No, okay, it wasn't the ultimate comeback because he finished 47th, but he finished. and his leg was almost amputated last February. And now 13 months later, 14 months later, he's out there competing in competitive golf in the Masters tournament. So I think hats off to Tiger, and who knows what he's gone through to do this. It wasn't just golf that he had to do. He had to not only get his golf game back, he had to be able to walk 4 miles a day, up and down hills, through rough terrain. The worse you hit the ball, the more terrain you got to go through. A straight and narrow shot every time, it's an easier walk. But let's face it, that's not the way it rolls. Oh, man. Easter's coming. See, Easter's one of those. It's obviously a very religious holiday. I think it's more religious, in my opinion, than Christmas, because Christmas is more generically celebrated. Whereas, like, Christmas can be a time of basic Thanksgiving, right? You're giving thanks for your family, your friends, the things we have in life. So even if you're not Christian, or if you're maybe you don't believe in anything, you're not sure, whatever the circumstances, or maybe you flat out do not believe in Jesus Christ being the Savior, you still celebrate that time of year, right? More people do. With Easter, it's more religion specific. This is the weekend that it all took place, right? Friday and then Sunday. So it's more specific to the religion. So I don't know, but it's still celebrated around the world, obviously, in Christian walks. The Easter basket gifts, do's and don'ts. Do whatever you want, but don't give a free rabbit. That's what I'm saying. A live rabbit. That's all. It's that easy. My opinion only, for what it's worth. But yeah, National Pet Day. So we talk about that, right? We don't want more animals out. Could you imagine? You're just, like I was saying earlier, you're a kid, you're brought back to the hospital because, nope, I'm sorry. I mean, it just didn't work out. Kid's 7 years old, not lining up the way we thought it was going to work. So you know what? See you later, kid. That's what we do to our animals. And they sit there, but they have no idea. Well, a kid has no idea either. But as an adult, when we feel rejected and left out, the empty feeling, right? And it happens. And we don't like the way it feels. But we'll do it to an animal? I couldn't imagine. My animals, we have 2 dogs. They're little tiny dogs. A little Havanese and a little terrier poodle mix. Little tiny 8-pound and 12-pound dog. Well, I think the 8-pound dog's 10 now because she ate a little bit. But we love them. Like, we have camera so we can look at them to make sure they're okay. You know, which they lay around and do nothing. They're dogs. They're either eating or barking at the neighbors. But we love them. I could not imagine going, well, you know what? I'm moving and they don't take animals. Who doesn't take animals somewhere in the area? I'm homeless with my dog then. I just can't help it. There was a story I heard the other day. I'm reading about it. A teenager, a homeless teenager, takes his dog to the rescue and says, I have to surrender my dog. I have no ability to tend to this dog properly. The shelter, heartbroken. So they take the dog. The kid walks out. The dog's devastated, lays on the floor in that lobby looking out the window. They cannot get that dog to get up. The dog is laying there dead weight because it's waiting for its owner to come back. Has no idea what just happened. So the lady at the rescue said, this is not happening. This is brokenhearted. But with such concern for his dog that he knew the best thing was turn him in. We're not eating scraps together. You're going to get what you need. So what they do, they took the dog And they said, this dog is an on hold dog, not available. They got the kid a place to live, and they gave him the dog back. That's a beautiful story. We need more people like that. How many teenagers might have just said, go? You know, Stu says, you got to realize if you get any animal, it's a responsibility until they die. Absolutely. And that's what's sad too, is if they outlive us and the dog or cat outlives us and they go, well, the homeowner died, it's a surrender. We got to think about those things on National Pet Day. If I pass away today and my partner passes away today, who gets our animals? They're special needs. And believe me, I didn't think anything of that at first, but I'll tell you what, they do not respond well to visitors. If you've been to my home, you know this. If we didn't come home one day, it would be devastating. They would end up euthanizing them because they wouldn't let them in the house. We don't think about that. So my life ends tragically some way, and now my dogs' lives have to end as well because they're not going to allow you in the home, right? So they're going to be considered aggressive animals, non-adoptable, when they're the most wonderful, loving animals in the world. They just protecting what they now have coming from horrible, deplorable conditions. And believe you me, they were. Like one of them, they were eating dead dogs to survive in the home. I've got the pictures to prove it. These rescue groups, it's absolutely, they're gifts from heaven. The people that rescue these animals are doing it usually at a cost of their own to do it. I mean, you talk about angels on earth. We can do all the cliche, oh, God made dogs angels, so we, blah, blah, blah. No, the people that go out there and do the rescuing of these animals, putting their own health at risk with getting bitten, getting in bad neighborhoods of inner cities, going down in gang-infested areas to save dogs, being approached by gang members. What are you doing here? True story. And they said, we're here to rescue these animals. And they said, get them and get out of here. And they said, you got it. We can't get out of here fast enough. True story, happened. And they got the animals. And they got the hell out of there as fast as they could too, baby. But that's the point, right? They go through all of these things for the love of these animals. It's got to be, it is. There's no doubt about it, heartbreaking. The one guy who owns rescue, he was saying the hardest part of the whole thing is going home at night when all the dogs are barking, wanting you to take them with you. I mean, I would love to be able to create the funds. And we could do it. We could do it. Create the funds so that our dog rescues throughout the country and the world have homes. What we need are many more foster homes. We need people to step up and go, we will take in these dogs until a forever home is found. And I can't. I'm not allowed to have more than, I was not allowed to have dogs to begin with. Now we have two. We're not pushing it. It's okay to have these two, but with the dogs and their aggressiveness and with not being allowed to have any, but we got two and they allowed it, not pushing it, right? But it's very important, animals look to us for everything. And I know wild animals are different and we're not supposed to feed the wild animals. I've wanted to buy the peanuts or the bird seed or anything like that, but I don't. My neighbors do, and we've got blue jays, we've got all kind of different birds, woodpeckers, and a bunch. We got pine trees and maple trees and birch trees and all the different kind of trees around and all the different kind of birds that live in them. You want to feed them, but they have a natural instinct to eat too. So, anywho, We're going to take it to break on that note on a Monday morning. When we come back, we got food quality in America on the docket. You know, with all the talk of the Russians and the oligarchs or whatever the heck you call them, the rich Russians. I don't understand what all these words are that are introduced to us. When a crisis in the world happens, we learn all these new words, right? Why don't they just call them the Russian billionaires, no, the oligarchs or whatever the heck? It's like, what? Where do we? I love it. It's like a game of Boggle all the time. All right, you're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97.
Hey guys, you already know.
Good Lord. Good morning, Kristen. You're beautiful. Good morning, Kimberly. Hope you have a good day as well. I know, Kimberly, you'll enjoy your day. You're like me. We enjoy our time here. Our limited time on Earth. It seems that there's very few people that truly appreciate the limited time we have. And it's fun to be around people. You can sense the energy. And Kimberly, one of our girls here that are chiming in today, amazing spirit. You just feel better sitting at a table with her. Oh, dear, call him Dr. Evils. Yeah. But I'll tell you, I mean, as far as pets go, I've not always been this way, right? Before, I've always been more of a way like, you know what? Do no harm, but I always made the excuse, I don't have time for that. Or, it's just not my thing or whatever. But now I feel indebted to saving an animal at every chance I could. In other words, as devastating as it is for us when we lose an animal, there's another animal in the shelter that doesn't deserve another night in a cage. So Kristen says, I've been trying for years to get hummingbirds. They don't like the D. Well, maybe if they're gay birds, they might. Oh, wait, hummingbirds are girls or boys? I don't know. Derek, I absolutely love pets, but I think if money is gathered to find homes for something, it should be homeless kids and teens first. Derek, well said. I absolutely agree. There's room for both causes, but yes, absolutely. Homeless kids, homeless teens, definitely first and foremost, above and beyond, because like anything, we should put our species first. We should put our country first. We should put our township first. We should beam with pride. We always see, like, we know everybody around the world has heard the Oxford school shooting, and you see even on the local, I film sports. I go to a place, I film a lacrosse game. You see they've got a rock. It says, Oxford strong. Whenever there's a tragedy, we go, to show support. We do that. And we see it way too much now, over and over. It would be perfect to pair a homeless pet with a homeless human and have absolutely. See, this right here. Have a homeless human and a homeless pet, move them in together, split the rent. Yeah, that's true. But we do have the money to make the movements all happen. But we don't do it. We go, Elon Musk, can you help us out here? But it's true. Pair the homeless in. Who else could understand the need of a dog or a cat being dependent on somebody more than somebody who has seen the streets? Couldn't imagine, right? Couldn't imagine. It's called a level of hopelessness that no human is talking about a year or so ago. The homeless guy in the street who said he just wanted to blend in and disappear so nobody would be looking and stuff. And it's like, I struggle with it. I go down in Detroit and there's homeless people or there's people on the street begging, and we can argue whether or not they're homeless or scammers and all this, but you see them and part of you goes, I want to give a smile and say hello. And then another part of you goes, oh my God, just don't make eye contact. Just don't look. It's hard because if you look and you smile and you go, hey, how are you? You feel obligated. You want to give them money, even though you might not want to give them money. But the smile might be just as important, because how do we end the show? A friendly smile or a kind word. So it's a different perspective of looking at it, you know. We're on music break from the radio, but we're going to stick around on this because it just sucks sitting there looking at the blank screen. So we'll sit here and chill. Drinking my coffee. Tragedy in the National Football League, and I'm very interested to hear details. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. The most important details have already been told. The quarterback for the Steelers, Dwayne Haskins Jr., passes away Saturday morning, crossing I-595 in Florida. State police still don't know why he was crossing an intersection. He was hit by a dump truck. Hopefully he didn't feel it. 24 years old. Just makes you wonder what was he doing? Was he broke down? You have coverage. That's something we could talk about real quick. In America, drivers suck, okay? I'm just going to say it point blank. You suck at driving. You're not as good as you think. I was trained to drive from Taylor, Michigan Police Department, UPS, we can back up one of them big brown trucks within an inch and a half of each other and lickety split, baby. They teach you how to drive properly. Y'all don't know how to drive. You think you do, because car goes fast, zoom, zoom. No, you don't. I'm coming home from here Friday night or Friday morning. I'm driving down the Interstate 94 in Detroit, coming out of the west side of Detroit into Dearborn. I'm doing 70 in a 55 because I'm in the left lane passing a truck, so you got to haul butt, right? So around I go. There's a big brown SUV, like a Yukon. I seen him. He was in the right lane, hauling butt. Come all the way around to the left. He was about to pass me. He got even with me. And then I saw him cut behind me, and I heard, Arr! He cut behind me. He missed me. It wasn't like I was in jeopardy of getting hit. He missed me. He almost rolled it going to get on the expressway. He was going from I-94 to I-96 in Detroit. Oh, I don't know how he didn't hit somebody or hit the wall. And I don't know what happened after he got past the concrete barrier. Who knows? But stupid, numbnut move. And you see, today I'm driving in this morning on I-94, 94 East in Detroit, Chandler Park area, right down the heart of Detroit, just out of downtown. I'm driving down the road. I'm in the middle lane. I'm doing 67 in a 55. And I see a car coming to pass me like they do. No biggie. Probably doing close to 80. And all of a sudden I hear, they scraped a concrete barrier on the left and kept right on rolling. This whir, and then they're driving. They're probably on their phone or something. You know the side of their car is FUBAR. You're doing 75, 80 miles an hour down the road and you hit the side barrier? You dumbass. Oh, people are so freaking stupid. Yeah, people are stupid, man. But driving is the most dangerous thing we do. every day. Statistically, people are worried about planes and all this. And oh, speaking of that, my dear beloved partner is going to Memphis today. Oh, I'm going to miss her. She's going to Memphis should be going Thursday afternoon. So I'm a bachelorette Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So holla, boys. I'll be working tonight. I got a game in the rain. Then after that, let me see my schedule. Wednesday, I got a game. Oh my God, I got to drive all that way. Thursday, I got a game. I'm off Friday. Saturday, I got a game, but it's at 10. Grand Haven. Jesus. Let's see. So if it's on my calendar, I can do it. I'll let them know later. I'm looking at work stuff. I got a lot of games this week. So it's going to be a sober week because I don't drink during the games like that one guy did. I'm there to this one guy who's sitting there at a middle school, Brandon Middle School in Brandon, Michigan. They were all going, let's go, Brandon. No. And next to me, this guy pulls out his little Pepsi, like a couple of them in there, and he's pouring it into another thing. And I'm like, I smell Captain Morgan Spice rum. It was morning. I was there for like a 10 a.m. game on a Saturday. I'm like, you're drinking. It was, I think I had a 10, 12 or something like that, or it was 11 and 1 or something. We were out of there by 3. And he was drinking. I'm thinking, I love my booze, but you can't wait till you're done working at a school. Or you smell the high school kids come into a basketball game and they're all high school kids and they reek like weed. And it's like, how do they get past the adults who let them in? It's crazy, crazy talk. Yeah. She gets to go on an airplane. She's excited about that. I know that for sure. Yeah. Just Bob will be joining us in a little bit. And I talked with one of our program directors here, Cujo. We're going to be looking for a third person for the show. Must have broadcasting experience and or school, preferably some schooling. There is potential for earnings. It's an internship, but there's potential for earnings, and you'll learn all phases of radio. The part on air is part of it, but the pre-show, the producing, the running the board part of it, actually operating everything, loading in all the songs and loading in bits and doing things. You'll be doing audio editing and stuff like that. You'll be putting bits in for the show, being creative and things like that. It's not like, you said and you bring you to the table and you get to showcase what you can do. And that's what we're looking for. A lot of people want to get on the microphone, but they don't want to do the things that have to be done to get on the microphone. So keep that in mind. But that's what we're looking for. And I mean, you've heard me talk about the station before. I can't say enough about it. I mean, they're growing and it's a new thing. They've been doing internet radio for over a decade now here, back when people weren't doing it. And Howard Stern left regular radio to go to satellite radio, and people thought he was nuts. And it financially was the best thing he ever did. But radio's not like it used to be. And all things, when it's new, people are changing up a little bit. Harley says, good morning. Good morning, my friend. How are you, Harley? But so it's hard. You know, we're used to getting up and going on the radio and hitting the dial and listening and on and on. But now it's really simple. Like with the app, I get in. If I've got the app on, I go to my Bluetooth, hit the source, and boom, and I can listen to whatever. The other day, getting out of here, I had to call Princess and let her, or text Princess and say, hey, when I got off of the air, it didn't go to auto DJ. If I wasn't listening to our station, I wouldn't have known it. We might have had dead air for a while. Who knows? They can't listen 24/7. I mean, their mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles and friends and wives and husbands, and it's hard. Everybody, but that's part of the problem. But we do. We split ourselves so far. My kids are grown and gone. You'd think I'd be like, but I'm busier than a one-eyed mouse watching 3 mouse holes. Morning, Renee. How are you, madam? Well, so we got 3.5 minutes until we're back on the air on 93.97 Network. If you've not uploaded the app or downloaded it, whatever you do, 93.97 Network, it's in your Play Store. You go and get the app, and easy to see what's happening. Nice on the live stream because you can chime right in. I see the comment. We can show the comment. We can talk about it, and you'll be part of the conversation, and it's nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, let's see. It's a little rainy. It was lightning out earlier. Woo! One of our friends' house got hit with lightning and broke their window out in the basement. And I seen it. I didn't see that, but I saw the lightning because I had just pulled up here. And I saw a big thing of lightning, and I thought, oh, I better be careful going in. You know, so I hurried up and got in the building. I don't know if I'm safer. I'm by a window, and I got all this electrical equipment going on, so I'm probably susceptible to death right now. I'm risking my life to talk to you. What a trade-off that would be. But yeah, so we've been talking so far today on the show mostly about pets. Don't be buying bunny rabbits for your kids without doing the due diligence. That's the whole thing. Don't tell me what to do. Tell me how to do it right. So if I say, don't go buy a bunny rabbit, I should be saying, because bunny rabbits are going, wait, screw you. You got a house. What about me? I'm in a cage here, huh? I won't say don't buy one. I'll say do due diligence and make sure you know what you're getting into financially and the responsibility. You can say it's for the kid. You're going to take care of it. No, they're not. You're going to take care of it. You're the parent, but you're going to make them do it. But you're going to be the sole responsible person to make sure that this rabbit has the quality of life that it's supposed to have. That's different. But if you're just going to go, I don't know, I bought it for him. He's 12. He doesn't wipe his own butt when he's done going to the bathroom. He says he does, but he doesn't. Have you ever noticed how the men in your life are the most, like if you got 2 sons and a dad in the house, and you don't go through toilet paper very often, do you? You know why? They don't wipe their butt on the regular. They only feel they need to occasionally. 40 seconds until fun. All right, getting ready to get back to it. All right, here we go. Wait, one more drink of coffee. I'm not fired up enough yet.
You're listening to WHOT Hot 93.97.
Monday, Monday. I'm so happy it's Monday, Monday, Monday. I'm so happy it's Monday, Monday, and
All right, we're back. It's Monday. We're happy about that here. I don't know about you, but love me a good Monday morning. Yes, it's true. I love Mondays. All right, now for the crappy story, if you will. Pun intended. Woman kills bicyclists after uncontrollably defecating. Police are not buying this crap. I'm sorry to laugh at a story that's tragic. We're in Washington City, Utah. Good morning, Utah. How are you today? Thank you very much. A woman accused of fatally crashing her car into two cyclists and then driving away claimed her irritable bowel syndrome caused the crash. Girl, come on now. Little Berberigmus got the best of me, Your Honor. And okay, so why didn't you stop when you ran him over? I wasn't done pooping. Two brothers from California in Washington City, Utah, competing in a bike race. We share the road with bicyclists. We share the road with pedestrians. We share the road with motorcycles. We share the road with other vehicles. It's the most dangerous thing that we do every single day, every time we get in the car. There's a very good chance when you get in the car, you have a better chance of not making it home now than you ever had because you're in a vehicle. It's a projectile of death. Much like coming from this lady's bowels, projectiles of death, literally. She says, okay, the brothers have not been identified. May they rest in peace. Sorry to the family. It's a horrible tragedy, but this lady needs to be ridiculed. And not because of IBS, because of her BS. So the police make contact with the suspect, Julianne Budge, whose underpants were filled with fudge. Oh, wait, I'm not Dr. Seuss. Julianne Budge, 47, who told officers she's taking multiple medications for several various medical issues, one of which is irritable bowel syndrome. The irritable bowel syndrome has been causing her to defecate on herself without warning, quote unquote. So why are you out driving around without a Depends on? If it's been happening, it's no surprise. Like I have not yet crapped my pants today. So if I do it right now by accident, you can bet your sweet butt it will only happen once. But if I have to drive from here to home in a little while, I'm wrapping in a towel. I'll make a homemade diaper out of my sweater. But I promise I will not cause. I make that promise to the world. I'll keep my defecation issues to myself. I'll go home with my tail tucked between my legs, covered in defecation. So she was driving from her home when she began to uncontrollably defecate on herself while driving. So she swerved. She knew she hit the two, but she couldn't get her car to stop. A witness at the scene said, didn't look to me like she tried stopping at all after hitting those two. The witness stated he followed her vehicle until she pulled over and stopped several hundred yards away from the accident. She had been admitted to the hospital the day before and had been taking fentanyl through an IV drip. She's been arrested. She failed all sobriety tests, been arrested for driving under the influence. We don't think of those things, do we? Now, we don't know anything about anything. Now, she's been arrested on suspicion of 2 counts of automobile homicide due to criminal negligence. These are both second-degree felonies. 2 counts of failure to remain in an accident involving death, third-degree felonies. 2 counts of DUI with serious bodily injury. I mean, if you're getting her for killing them, you can't get her for hurting them too. That's just my opinion. I mean, I understand the old throw the book at her. I understand that's what they mean. Throw the book at her. That means every law she broke, nail her to. I get it. But if you charged her with murder, well, then the assault charge doesn't matter. It's the death charge. Improper lane change, reckless driving, bunch of other charges. So they throw in the book at her. Rightfully so, but I go at the same time, look, if you caused death, obviously you caused injury too. So let's just take the highest charge and go with that. And maybe I'm stupid. Maybe it's because that way a lawyer might go, hey, wait a minute now, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's true, I don't. I'm okay with that. I'm not paid to know what I'm talking about. I'm paid to talk about it. So maybe the lawyer would go, no, you don't understand. See, the prosecutor has to try the lesser charge too. In case they don't get the harsh charge, they can get the lesser and still be held accountable to some level. See, I'm not altogether there, but I'm not altogether not there either. I have my moments of grandeur. That wasn't one of them, but I do have them. She was arrested and convicted for a DUI in 2015 as well. That will be held against her in a court. They'll be looking at your past. And it should be looked at, damn right. But now this I didn't plan on talking about, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about these. She was given fentanyl through an IV drip the day before. I'm quite sure in her discharge papers, there was a piece that she signed that says, you will not drive for 24 hours, or you will not drive for 48 hours, or whatever it is. Because the hospitals know the effects of these drugs they're administering to you, right? They better know. So they go, now, Sapphire, we're going to take your wisdom teeth out, but don't worry, it's not going to make you any more dumb than you already are. You'll still have all your wisdom, just your back teeth. And I was like, okay, because I don't need less brain cells than I've already got. I do work hard to destroy as many as I can on a weekly basis, though. So just putting that out there. You know. Let's talk about this part of it, though. Right? You have surgery. Outpatient surgery is a little more common now than before, I believe. But what are the effects of every local anesthetic? What are the effects when we get behind the wheel after a fentanyl drip? Sounds a little dangerous, doesn't it? Like fentanyl, a pill-sized fentanyl kills 1.4 million people, but we use enough of it for pain relief for certain things. So yeah, how long after you have a fentanyl drip does one wait to drive? We don't think that. We go, you know what? I'm a little groggy. Even hangovers, like you drank Saturday night, you went out with the boys, you drank too much, you came home, you did it all right. Uber, your buddy was a designated driver, whatever. You didn't get behind the wheel, you got tore up from the floor up, and you're paying for it the next day. You got a headache, and you just woke up, you feel like crap. But Susie's got cheerleading, Johnny's got bowling. Then after that, you got a 1 p.m. basketball game. So you're up, you're driving your kids around with the hangover. Maybe you're not legally, maybe you're .02, maybe you're completely legal, but you don't feel good. Your senses have been dulled. We don't think about those effects, right? What about you've had surgery? Your arm, nothing big. You got carpal tunnel syndrome, right? You had surgery. They did a local, whatever. I don't know how they do it. I'm just talking. And then you get these. You're going to make you groggy. We'll give you some pain pills. It's going to hurt. Your wrists are going to hurt. You're on pain pills, but hey, I'm good. I got to take Jenny. Got cheerleading. I got to go to the grocery store. I got this, that, the other. Are we okay to drive legally? We always look at, hey, I'm within the legal limits. But also, a speed limit is there for regular conditions. What do we do in rain and snow? Slow down. If you're going 45 in a 45 and slide off the road, you were going too fast for the conditions, even though you were going under the speed limit. So we could be under the influence of something and not be legally under the influence of something that still caused us to crash. And can we stop calling these accidents when they're not accidents? An accident is when you look both ways, pull out, and get T-boned because you don't look good. You made a mistake. You didn't see the car coming. What's not an accident is screw them. They'll stop, pull out anyway. Crash. Oh, we had an accident. No, you're a butthole. We had a negligence, not an accident. So yeah, there's been an uptick in that bull crap. Oh, I hate that word. There's a story a little bit later I got coming up that infuriated me. The story was fine, and I was doing good with the story until they say it's ticked up in the past several months. And I threw up in my mouth, and I spit it on the screen. No, that's gross. You wanted me to say I swallowed it? Is that it? No comment. Irritable bowel syndrome made me poop all over myself, and I killed 2 people and ran. I couldn't get my car to stop. Well, because you didn't hit the brake pedal, bitch. That's why. What is wrong with people? Now, I don't know about you, but I thought that the Tiger Woods story is a good story of comeback and perseverance and mental strength, physical strength too, but mental strength to go through everything that he went through to get back to play in the Masters. He finished 47th. He had a bad Saturday, but he made the cut. He played with the best of the best, and he finished, and he's going to play in more tournaments now. That's the good thing. But let's go back to what we were talking about a little bit, driving. His 1-car accident was him road raging because he was late, right? And I am not upset with him. We drive cars crazy. That's what we do. And it just so happened for him that it was in a bad spot. He was unfamiliar with it, and it cost him. Thankfully, he's recovered and everything, but let's get the lesson out of it. Really, but it's really changed my mood. I do not get fired up about getting behind somebody slow anymore. I might a little bit like get out of my way, but I don't no confrontation and no aggressive driving. I just wait my turn, get around them when I can, and I go. Throughout my years of driving, I'm 53. I got my license when I was 16, and I've been independently driving since. And I'm good at it. But everybody else is not. And everybody else thinks the same way I do. They think they're good at it. But I really am, because I've been trained by police, by UPS. If you can drive for UPS, you know how to drive. If you used to drive for UPS because you got fired for crashes, you don't know how to drive. But we all think we do. But it's one of those things. It's the most deadly thing we do. And we take it all for just simple granted. I love the fact, I wish I could have followed that car this morning to where they were going to watch them get out of their car and go, oh, it's probably just a little scrape. Girl, you're going 80 miles an hour. It's more than a little scrape. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. All right, where are we at here? Let's see. We talked about this. We talked about that. I got nothing else for the rest of the day. Everybody have a good day. We're out of here. Bye-bye. Just kidding. Could you imagine not knowing what to say? I mean, what would you do? Last year, see, this is one of those things, and part of it's not even a story. Part of it is, but it's got to be awareness. Like, I'm one of those at fault for this. I feel safe around a group of people. For what most? Like you go down to your ballpark, to any Major League Baseball team, there's police everywhere. I go to the Detroit Tiger game. I'm downtown Detroit. I see police everywhere. Every street corner. I feel safe as can be. Last year, and I don't even like to call out the team because it's not, the ballparks are safe, right? But the Nationals Park in Washington, D.C., right? Saturday night, just less than an hour after the ball game clears out, right? The Washington Nationals hosted the New York Mets. They get done around 10 o'clock, right? Just before 11 o'clock, police respond to a report of a shooting outside the stadium. Discovered a 16-year-old female shot, suffering from non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. A gunshot wound. Another male found on the other street nearby, similar wound, non-life-threatening gunshot wound. Another male, 17-year-old, found with gunshot wounds at the Navy Yard Metro Station just north of the stadium. None of their injuries are life-threatening. That's a good thing. But right outside the stadium, and last year, 2021, there was a shooting where 3 people were injured while a game was still going on outside the stadium. So I'm one of these people that always feel safe in a crowd like that. Like, there's police everywhere. People don't care no more. They'll shoot the police. People don't care no more. We look for all the reasons why this happens. Just look in your own home. Your kids are not being trained up the way they should go. I am so proud to say that my 4 adult children are all college graduates. As far as I know, not criminals, not lawbreakers. But let me say this. I don't care what they do in life. I don't care where they go in life. I will love them unconditionally, no matter what they tell me. Cannot break the love that I've got for them. Nothing. You can tell me nothing to make me not love you. Period. I don't care what you do. But I'm proud that my kids are all good kids. They're good mothers. They're good. Well, my son's not a father yet that he knows of. No, just kidding. We taught him right. He has respect for women, right? It starts at home, man. Your kids are out in the street shooting 17-year-old, 16-year-old. These are teenagers. They should be getting laid for the first time, but they're out shooting each other instead. They should be getting ready for prom. They should be thinking about high school plans after high school. What college am I going to? What do I want to be with my life? They're throwing it all away. They're throwing it all away. And then they want to blame other people. Blame your mama and your daddy. They're the ones who effed you up. End of story. No, not across the board. I know people can say, now, Sapphire, there's good parents that raise their kids good, and it still happens. Amen, it does. But for the most part, we're screwing our kids up. Dining room table conversations being had at the tables in America are screwing our kids up. They're putting preconceived notions of hatred and anger and divisiveness in them. And don't think for 1 minute that people don't know what they're doing. Don't think that the mass media does not know what they're doing, because they do. They got you, sucker. I got proof. We know we've all been had, okay? Donald Trump, controversial name. Oh, you can't even say Trump in cards anymore. When somebody says, what's Trump? Someone's got to chime in something all the time. It's a controversial name now. Known to be caught in lies. Known to be considered a cheater. Known to make fun of people. Not a great man. Donald Trump sees me, he wouldn't want to talk to me. Me? What's wrong with this person? What is this? He wouldn't want nothing to do with me. He's not a good man. He's not right for this country. But I got an update for you. Joe Biden, known liar, known cheater. 47 years is part of the problem. He's not the answer either. Just want to let you know that. You've been had. You've been had. Neither one of them are good for this country. Neither one of them are good for this country. Both of them are equal. They're both lies. They're both cheats. They're both steal. All right, we're back. Hello, everybody. I think we're back. We're live. Yep, good to go. Oh, Lordy. Live stream's back on. Radio's on. We're good to go. All right. Well, we're still talking about the same thing. We're talking about training up our children in the way they will go. I am starting to unwaveringly assign blame to parents when their kids F up. If you've got a 17-year-old kid on the street shooting people, the parent has to bear some level of responsibility. I'm sorry, I'm done with everything else. An 18-year-old, maybe another ball game. They're 18. We can hold them completely accountable. You're going to jail for the rest of your life. Congratulations. You shot them and you threw your life away. Bye-bye. Gotta go. You know better. At 18 years old, you knew better. You made the action. You can blame your parents now. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for allowing me to be a piece of crap and shoot people for no reason. But at 17, we have to look straight to the parents and go, look what your kid did. Huh? Look what your kid did. You screwed up somewhere along the line. Somewhere you have to bear a little bit of responsibility for this. This whole thing about, oh, don't hold me accountable for what they did. Slid out of your wet vagina. You trained it up. So yeah, there is a level of responsibility. So when I wake up on a Monday and I see 4 people shot, 6 people shot, 10 people shot, I go, so this is what we look forward to. This is the soup. This isn't even news anymore. It's like our own form of Hunger Games, right? With stupid people. But we want to take to the streets and go, oh, our poor kid, our poor this, our poor that. No, not a chance. A 16-year-old female suffering from non-life-threatening gunshot wounds just before 11 p.m. on a Saturday. 17-year-old found with gunshot wounds at the Navy Metro Station. These are kids. You can't even vote. These are kids. The parents bear responsibility. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How you
Been
doing?
listening. Totally in. I could not agree more with everything I've heard in the last 20 minutes.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy. And I'm tired of feeling bad about it, right? And I feel bad for the parents and stuff like that because the victims, we don't know anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why this 17-year-old male was found shot. We don't know why this 16-year-old female was found shot. Were they passersby coming out of Bible study? We don't know. So let's not, But you remember back in the day when you'd be watching TV and it'd go, it's 8 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Yep.
Or it's 8 o'clock. Do you know what your children are watching?
Mm-hmm.
There was 5 channels back then. Of course we know what they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's 200 channels. No, we don't know what they're watching. We see a cartoon and we think it's, oh, the kids are watching South Park and Family Guy.
Yeah, 200 channels, and that's only on cable. That doesn't count the World Wide Web. And their phone in their hand 24/7.
Yeah. So
But again, we can sit and talk about it until the end of time.
Yeah.
And does anything change? Nothing changes. We want to fix it so this never happens again. If I hear that phrase one more time,
we'll put in the work. We'll do better.
Blah, blah, blah.
2 people are dead and 10 hospitalized at a Cedar Rapids nightclub shooting. 6 people were shot, including 1 fatally, after an apparent fight at a birthday party in Indianapolis.
Man.
Oh, I love it. God bless America. I'm going to go home and shoot my gun up in the air. I don't even have a gun.
You're
I'll
lucky.
shoot you with a slingshot.
Well, you'd pick off a bird or something. Just your luck.
Ah, Lord. We can't
No,
kill
it's-
birds on National Pet Day, Bob.
No, we can't do that. That's completely correct.
Mm,
No,
Yeah.
it's the world we live in now. It's certainly taken a wrong turn from the good old days, and that's what some people are gonna say. Ah, well, you guys, you don't know the way the world is today. You don't know the way life is today. It's so much harder. It's so much this. It's so much that. The basics are the basics. They don't change generation to generation. Doing good and doing right is still doing good and doing right. Like it was 100 years ago, like it was 200 years ago. So don't give me that.
Oh, I see. Stu's got jokes here, huh?
No, Stu.
She'll run over a squirrel. So yeah, I killed a squirrel, and it ruined my weekend almost. We were going on a weekend trip from Detroit to Cadillac, Michigan, which is about 4 hours northwest of here.
Right.
And we had to stop at one of my favorite places to get chicken
Mm-hmm.
on the way up there. It's about 45 minutes out of where I live. So it's like, you know what? Whenever I drive by there, I get the chicken and everything. And I thought, this is a great time. I got Stu and Rich with me. And we'll go up there and I'll introduce them to a good place to eat and everything. And it was all perfectly fine and good until get back on the expressway on a 2-lane road. I murdered a squirrel.
I'm sure it wasn't intentional. Therefore,
No, it wasn't. And
Therefore, it was
we
only-
did all feel bad.
Well,
I felt terrible. I almost had to pull over. I felt it. I seen it. He was in the middle of the road. He didn't know where to run, and he ran right under my tire. And I'm like, no.
not there.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
and
I felt
if-
so bad.
I know. It would be nice if they knew to just sit perfectly still. And if you knew they were going to sit still, you could just fly over the top of them and not get them. But
Get around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. It was
And that
terrible.
thunk, the thunk that you hear too when you get
Oh
them. It's
yeah,
like,
boom!
oh.
You feel you'll run over it, and it's just like I hope it didn't suffer. I hope it
Right.
just died instantly and didn't even know what hit it.
Right.
It's probably looking down, going, "No, bitch, we got your license plate number and everything."
And we're working on karma right now.
We got your first name. We got your last name. We even got an address for one of you.
Oh, that was horrifying. The one time I'm living up in Maine, though, I hit a bird, and the bird stuck in the crack between the headlight and the hood popping open in the quarter panel.
Okay, that's gross.
It was terribly. Well, I'm driving down the road, and you hear boom, and then you see it, and it's like stuck there, and it was stuck in there, wedged in that little hole
Yep.
or that little crease.
Yep.
So when I had to pop the hood, oh, it was horrible. I had to pop the hood. My friend Joe's sitting there laughing. I'm like, this is not funny. There's
Meanwhile,
nothing
I
funny
think-
about this.
I think it's sort of unrelatedly, but sort of relatedly, I think birds are getting stupider with time. For some reason, I've never seen so many birds hit the window of my house as I have in the last year.
Well, quit cleaning your windows so much. They are called bird brains, you know.
Well, yeah, I'd be sitting here and I hear boom, and I think, who's throwing something? Oh, it's just a bird again. I'll bet you it's happened 6 or 8 times in the last year. I kind of think, what are they doing? Bird
They don't
drugs
see
or
the
something?
window. They're just flying straight and level, and all of a sudden, bam! They hit the glass, and they're like, what the?
Well,
They don't know because you keep your house too clean.
well,
we can
that's
see it
what it
behind
is. See,
you.
see, it's my fault. I knew it was.
Oh, wait a minute! I got to put you on the screen. There we go.
See, it is my fault.
Sorry.
I knew it. I knew it right along.
You got to let me know when
Darn
you
clean
got on the
windows.
screen there.
Well, you had mentioned there was technical difficulties for a minute. I didn't know if that was part of it.
Yeah, we lost it for a minute. The live stream we lost. The radio we never did. So
Right.
That's the important part. Yeah. Oh, Lord. All right, we're at 8:26. We're going to break. You're listening to Sapphire's Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. We will be right back. Keep it locked. All right, we'll stay on this. No, actually, I'm going to get coffee, go to the ladies' room, and everything. So we're going to take a quick break. We come back on the air at 8:49.
8:49, got it.
And then I'm going to take a quick break from here and then come back and rejoin this.
I'm going to go do something about my appearance. Apparently, I didn't look in the mirror this morning. Oh, good Lord. I'll be back.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drink. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the cheers of the gay bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple.
say 1,000, 1,700, 2,000, 3,000. Shit. Are you kidding me? Life insurance. 153. Health insurance and his plan. 134.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drink. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the cheers of the game bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple.
Well, I got there at some point, so I have to figure out how that was. take out 20% is 80, so 25% is 100. Yeah, that's fine. So if I'm getting 30 hours a week, 30 times 1565, that's 60.
We got another song to go still. 4.5 minutes of Run DMC, but we got it turned down, so go back home. We're just waiting. Just Bob's busy doing his thing. I walked out of the studio, had me 2 Samoa Girl Scout cookies, and came back in.
60 times.
Good thing they're out there because I'll be chowing that whole rack of them.
939 minus taxes.
Looking at my schedule, I got a lot going on this week. Tonight, Wednesday, Thursday. I've always got a kick out of, I'm looking at my Facebook page real quick here. People you may know. Some of them, 100 friends, some 3 or 4 friends. But what about the ones with no mutual friends? How are they suggested on people you may know when you send friend requests to people with no, friends? They go, whoa. You're only supposed to friend request people you know. Then why are you sending me people that I probably don't know? Oh, because you jive turkeys. Facebook. I can't believe it's mid-April already. I love it. But before you know it, we're going to be sitting in here going, I can't believe it's mid-July. Getting ready to go back to school. Time flies, man. And we worry about all the dumbest stuff. Talking about the Will Smith thing. We talk about that. And people are going, oh, there's more important things in the world. True, but it was worthy of conversation. It was a current event of large magnitude in the gossip world. I mean, it's the entertainment world. We spend billions of dollars. We put these people in positions of extreme power because of wealth, and they forget where they come from. We condemned him for what he did, and it was condemnable, but it was just a slap. But you can't do that. But again, we took to social media, like anything, like somebody who ever wore the worst gown that night gets criticized, I'm not upset that we talk about it so much because it's what we talk about, the current events. You want to talk about war all the time? We want to talk about politics all the time? I gave you my 2 cents worth on it all this morning. None of them are any good for us. None of them are any good for us. What do we need? Somewhere along the line of a 35-year-old person I don't care what your pronouns are. I don't care what you're packing between your legs, what kind of meat you pack. I don't care. Whether you're a boy or a girl, whether you're male or female, you might be a male that considers yourself female. You might be a female that considers yourself male. Who gives a crap? Can you do the job? But we don't need names recognizable in our White House. We need to try something totally different. Put me in there. A no name. Somebody who doesn't know nothing about nothing. That'd be better. Yeah, it would be. I don't care how stupid it sounds. It's true. $29.87. 20 seconds. Means I gotta start getting my boop together. Proverbial feces. I don't even have a sweeper lined up. We're just going right back to it. All right. Happy Monday. I managed to babble for 30 minutes this morning about nothing. And I'm pretty proud of myself for that. No, we talked a lot about pets earlier. It's National Pet Day. Post your pictures of your pets on our page. We like to see them too. Ton of fun. Pets are great. They're so naive. They're so innocent. They just don't know any better. It's so cute. It's like it's fun taking care of them. At least that's my opinion. And my opinion stinks like a dirty butthole. They all do. I mean, all right. So there's two things we're talking about today that carry some importance. Food quality in America is one of them, right? How safe is our food? I mean, FDA approved, right? Sounds good to me. I think I would take your word for it. But should we? The FDA is all hopped up on drugs. Well, you know what I mean? They're worried about all the drug things going on in the world right now. They're not so worried about the food, the FDA's food failures. They're not worried about that necessarily, right? We got to go back in time a little bit. Mid-November 2021. Mid-November 2021. By the time the FDA figured out it was spinach that was making people sick in 10 states, 3 people were sent into kidney failure. By the time the FDA realized it was spinach that was the problem, it was too late. Mid-November 2021, all the packaged salads, short shelf life, right? Spinach don't last forever. The shelf life had passed. There was no recall. By the time the FDA inspectors showed up on site, spinach season was over. Popeye's furious. The production fields empty. The facilities empty, which makes it nearly impossible to pinpoint the source of the contamination, which means whatever happened in November of 2021 may happen in the fall of 2022 because nothing was fixed. Right. We don't know what happened with the spinach. It wasn't supposed to happen. More than 11 years has passed since Congress passed a sweeping food safety law designed to prevent this very type thing. Mm-hmm.
So again, we have a law in the books already that we just don't follow.
What's that?
I said, so we have a law in the books already. We don't need a new one. We just need to follow the one we have.
Right. You would think.
You would think.
Not sure why I don't have good volume on that right now, but we'll figure that out. So, in these 11 years, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, has failed to put in place safe standards for the water used to grow fresh produce as mandated by law. Despite knowing that water is one of the main ways fresh fruits and vegetables become contaminated.
Right.
So we know that's the main reason, but yet we do nothing about the deadly pathogens being transferred onto our food.
Well, we're too busy worried about other stuff like, Orange Man this and...
Yeah, right. Yeah, mean old orange tweet.
Yeah.
Congress has ramped up. There's been an uptick, disgustingly uptick. There's ramped up the FDA funding. See, Congress has given them more money over the past decade, but the deadly outbreaks keep happening, and it's taken the agency too long to respond to these. 80% of our food supply is overseen by the FDA.
I just wonder what they're doing. Are they spending what are they spending their time on? I mean, I assume lately it's been COVID-related stuff, and the drug side of the Food and Drug Administration has been busy, but I don't know what the food side's been doing. And again, we don't get any kind of a reporting or accounting or any auditing or anything like that. So
it's really quite simple, and there's proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
Right. Regulating food is not a high priority at the agency. Drugs and other medical products dominate both in budget and bandwidth.
Yep. AKA Big Farm.
Over the years, the food side of the FDA has been so ignored and grown so dysfunctional that even former FDA commissioners readily acknowledge problems in interviews they've had. Going, yeah, we know things are screwed up, but we're all getting paid well.
That's right. We'll fix it. Don't you worry.
So yeah, the food problem, the whole program of Food and Drug Administration it should be the DFA, not the FDA. But where's the money come from? Where's profit come from? Cabbage or pills? Well, we know the word. We know, right? The money, the pharmaceuticals. Takes them 17 cents to manufacture the pill. They sell it for $81 a pill.
Yep. Nope, you're totally right about that.
The food that we eat is the most important thing, right? It's the fuel for our body. It's not as safe as we think, maybe. So what do we do about it?
Well, part of it is, what can you do about it? You can grow your own, I suppose, but you can only go by the level of water safety that you have in your own backyard based on testing and that kind of thing. I mean, within our neighborhoods and within our main vicinity here, and, all the major cities, they have the main pumping station where the water comes from. They purify it and clean it. That's the sewer part of your water bill. But still, when they run tests and they find things like lead and they find extra chlorine in it because they had a water main break, so now they got to add more stuff. I mean, you never know for sure what you're really getting out of the tap. I mean, it might look fine.
True. We entrust these people to make sure that the food we're eating is up to the standards. Like, how do we know? Like you said, how do we know? How do we know? We go buy something. We We trust that the FDA stamp and that everything on there is all done in the right way.
Right.
But basically, they say they're kicking the can down the road. That's what they say. Scott Faber, Senior Vice President at the Environmental Working Group, says we're global laggards. We're kicking the can down the road for someone else to pick up the mess. The Center for Disease Control estimates that more than 128,000 people are hospitalized and 3,000 people die from foodborne illnesses each year.
Mm-hmm. That's totally believable. You hear things like E. coli and salmonella outbreaks and things like that. That doesn't even necessarily have to be water related, although it can be.
Yeah. A recent outbreak contaminated infant formula, in which at least 4 babies were hospitalized and 2 died.
Yeah, that market's gotten very torn up. I've seen, been out of the store here and there, and moms trying to shop for the right, the formula for their babies that they've been feeding them right along, and it's just not on the shelves with all the recalls, and they haven't made enough to refill it yet, and just
It's amazing.
It's just another example,
There's a running joke amongst FDA officials that the F in the FDA is silent.
Yeah, okay.
Commissioners have also slipped up and been known to call it the Federal Drug Administration instead of the Food and Drug Administration. Now, let's point something out. They've had 5 commissioners in 3 years. So there's no foundation of anything to be built upon.
Yeah. That anytime you have that big of a turnaround in senior management, there's obviously something not right that needs to be righted, and time has to be spent looking for said thing if it's not staring you in the face.
Well, of course they blame it on politics, right? They're saying, well, there was a change in leadership because of the Trump era, and then with Biden, and then. So they're blaming everything except for the fact that we don't care what you put into your body. And they don't.
Right.
But we don't. When we leave out of here at 10 o'clock Eastern, I'll get home at around 11 Eastern, and there'll be lines at every fast food joint for lunch from 11 to 2:30.
Oh, yeah.
And then we spend money on gym memberships, and we talk about healthy hearts and healthy mind and get in shape. And we're not in shape, even though round is a shape. So I guess we are in shape.
That's right.
In the shape of an orange instead of a pear or an upside down pear.
Yep.
Busted can of biscuits. It's the American thing, though. We eat junk, but even if we're trying to eat healthy, we can't trust the FDA to do right by us. That's your dumb job, right? You don't have to be good at anything else, but you got to be good at knowing what food safety is and McDonald's workers have to go through a class of food safety.
Right.
You work at a damn Rams Horn or a Denny's, you got to know food safety. So, yeah, the FDA should be up on top of it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be, well, we don't care about food. What do you mean? If we cared more about the food, we wouldn't need the drugs. But wait a minute, there's where the money lies. Until they can milk America out of their money for food, then they're going to milk us out of our money for pharmaceuticals, which works out good for them. You know why? Because then the pills actually give us other health problems. So they can make a pill for that. So you can eat 6 pills a day to make you feel better.
Right.
Even though you do not feel better and you're spending all your money. and they know this.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would just put down the cheeseburgers, which I had one yesterday, I'm a big hypocrite. If we would eat healthy, we wouldn't need all the pills. But the pills is what lines the pocket of our billionaires. And we can't have that cease.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can we?
That
It's
would
a
be
vicious cycle that leads to one thing: money. The love of money.
Mm-hmm. Nope, you're right about that. And there's only
And
so
it's
much
a
we as
win-win.
individuals can do to control it. I mean, we can control some of our decision making, some of our spending, but we can't control the structure behind it, and we can't control what we're being offered in the way of pricing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, Stu chimes in on the live stream. Yeah, but you had a great hamburger. It was delicious. It had bacon, barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard. Oh, it was so good.
I had a wonderful cheeseburger this weekend too. It's funny you guys had that, and mine was maybe a little healthier only because it didn't have bacon on it. But bacon's healthy. It's protein. It's meat. It's good for you.
Right.
I had lettuce, tomato, onion. The veggies on top of the burger, so that it seemed like a salad, so that it was healthier in my head anyway.
Yeah. But we sit there and talk about we want the FDA to do something to make our food healthier, but we're eating at junk food places all the time, making terrible dietary decisions, and then looking to place the blame elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until, and I'm guilty of this, I'm guilty of it. It's not until we're in the hospital in an intensive care unit going, I had a heart attack? What? Me? Been there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a struggle. Food is an addiction in America. And it's a terrible thing because you don't need alcohol. You don't need drugs. You don't need gambling. You don't need sex, arguably. But you need food. So all the other addictions, you can go, if I stay away from it, I can change my lifestyle and avoid the places that provide that. I can increase my chances of successfully quitting.
Right.
Well, guess what? You need food every day to eat. So it makes it a very bad challenge to conquer food addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to understand what it is we're actually trying to do. We have to train our body like we train our children.
Well, sure.
We train our body in the way we want it to go. No sugar. If you can alleviate sugar from your diet, you'll probably add 10 years to your life.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you do that? Everything is sugar.
Well, especially with sugar, because sugar is one of those things where your physical body, once you've got it used to having it, craves it, and you need it and you miss it. Not in the same, I mean, you wouldn't crave, a protein shake necessarily the same way that you're going to crave, that can of pop or that candy bar.
True, but not true. The difference is once your body's used to not having it, it will crave the healthier thing.
Right. Well, no, that's what I mean. You've got to break the consumption so that your body does change what it looks for in nutrition, because it's going to look for more of the same. Whatever you give it, it's going to want more of what that is, and if that's not healthy for you, then
correct. If you reach at night for a bag of chips and dip and a Pepsi, that's what your body's going to crave. Mm-hmm. And if you reach at night, instead of that, you're going, oh, my favorite show's on, 8 o'clock. I'm ready. Let me grab my snacks and set it here. instead of the chips and dip in the Pepsi, if you had a handful of strawberries and blueberry, whatever berries you like, fruits, vegetables, cut up, whatever, broccoli, cold raw broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, whatever. At first, you'd go, oh, all right, it's still something. You would enjoy it. And then your body would go react to that. And your body would make you feel better. You wake up the next day going, I'm energized. I feel good today.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I'm just in a good mood. I can't figure it out because we're eating right. Our body's energized properly.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Uh-oh.
Very much so. And I
thought I heard weird stuff going on.
What weirdness is going on?
Oh, because we rolled through all of our background music and I could hear me talking and it was like an Adam's Apple commercial or something.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, it's supposed to be break time.
We're technically impaired
Well,
again.
we just came back, so we're not going quite yet.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, it's not. I don't feel like it's time to go.
Well, then we're not going.
Then we're not going. That's right. We keep talking about food. But food is the only thing that you think about it, though. We do struggle with addiction of food.
Mm-hmm.
It's poor choices.
Right, which then lead to even more poor choices and less control because you're now becoming physically.
I eat because I'm unhappy.
We eat because we're bored. We get bored, we eat. But even so, you have dinner. You sit down, you stuff yourself for dinner. You're not hungry anymore, right? You sit down and watch your favorite show, and now you want a snack. But you're really not hungry, so you nibble.
Right.
We can't. It's a mindset thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. And you want the taste of something. You want it. You know. It doesn't. Just sitting there with a glass of water isn't necessarily going to get you through your evening of couch potatoing, even though it's probably the healthiest thing you can do since you're not exercising either. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's the chips and dip thing. The only thing I'm guilty of is the chips. I usually do them without the dip, and
you can eat healthy chips now too.
I don't go after the pop. It's usually
I love
water.
a can of Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, usually it's a chips or something snacky, something crunchy that way. But I've tried to reform some of my behavior anyway, because God knows it needed some reforming.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
We all do, though, and it's hard to eat healthy all the time. But if we do, we would get used to it. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't be craving the cookies if we didn't eat them. And believe you me, it works.
Oh yeah, it becomes what normal is. Your body gets used to it. Now that's normal. You know. Now when you go and you eat the sweets a month later, you go, oh, geez, that's sweet. You know.
Oh, there's cookies, there's snacks, things that I can't eat that I used to love. It's like, but you get used to certain ways. But just like we get used to the bad habits, we can get used to the good habits.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you sit down after 6 months of eating yogurt, frozen yogurt, and strawberries and blueberries and raspberries and blackberries and bananas and all good stuff, you go eat your favorite snack from before this time and you're going to be like, oh yeah, no thanks. McDonald's fries, love them. No knock against McDonald's. Love McDonald's. Can't eat their fries like I used to. Too salty. Not any saltier than before.
Mm-hmm.
Just not used to eating them.
Just not used to eating them, right?
You know.
Well, and it's because they go hand in hand, the food and drug also, because you eat the bad foods, you go to see Dr. Feelgood, and he says, well, here, I'll give you a prescription for cholesterol and for something else. So as long as you're taking these pills, that'll keep that under control. Well, now you don't have to change your habits. You can still do the same things you were doing because the pill's supposed to be taking care of the consequences. And that's not always how it works, but there's, for one, for one action, there's another reaction until it gets to that place where you talked about where you're taking 6 or 8 different kind of pills a day, and half of it's because of your own behavior, and if you
Exactly.
curtail some things, you could jump off of some of those, and
we know better now.
Right.
So that's the thing. We can prevent it now by going, hey, I'm in my 20s. Now's the time to train my body to be this way. That way our later years are more healthy. And we see a lot of people with a lot of health problems, and a lot of it is self-induced, unbeknownst to ourselves or whatever reason. But
Right.
we go, here I am. I gained 30 pounds since high school, and I'm a size whatever. I don't know what size men wear in pants. So they do, like, I'm a size 16. But for men, I think it's like 32, 34, 36.
34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44,
Right.
46, 48. Had to give those away, thankfully.
Right. So I mean, that's because of our diet. I mean, we see the Middle Eastern people, the people from the Asian countries who eat a healthier diet are littler people. I mean, how many people in America do we see that are from the Asian countries or Middle Eastern countries that are heavy?
Yeah,
Very
not many.
few.
Not many.
Because of their diet, right? They're not doing more necessarily. They're not eating less. Many of them eat big meals, extravagant, but they're eating right.
Right. And it comes in the preparation of it, too. I mean, they prepare things differently. Things like stir fry as opposed to deep fry makes a big difference in your fat content, Some of it's just, basic common sense. Some of it is
only common for those who possess it.
Well, and choose to use it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. It is 9:14, going on 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Quick break, a couple more songs, and then we'll get back to finish up the day. We have a pro tip for you TikTokers. We do?
We do.
Yeah. Amongst some other informative stories. Stick with us on Sapphire's Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. We'll be right back. All right, we come back at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9:30.
All right. See you then.
I don't know what's going on.
What is it?
I don't know. All right, we come back at 9:30.
Okay. I'll be back.
I'm going to stay on, though. So, but my partner, Katie, is now at the airport. She's going through security now. Good morning, Sapphire. You're covering our only event today, 7 p.m. Country Day at Northville. Huh. Jeez. A Jada Pinkett Chia Pet. The pottery that grows in patches. We've stooped to another new low. Congratulations. Oh, Lordy. Oh, I love Facebook on a Monday morning. Sunday mornings are fun too because you got all the drama from the gay bars the night before. That's always fun. Oh, we got 2 more songs after this one. We come back at 9:30. We're just chilling right now. Catching up with all my Facebook, all the drama. It's interesting that, like I said, no mutual friends, but people you may know. How may I know this person? One mutual friend, no profile pic, named Smokey Silver. My one friend mutual is my cousin Mike. But yeah, I might know him. Stupid. Oh, 9:20 already. My goodness. I'm blessed to have so much work. I'll tell you that. It gets frustrating sometimes, but it's a blessing. Yep. Oh. I'm going to go home. Had me some. Last night I got home. We went out to Hamburger Mary's in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and we had a good burger and saw a good show. And today I'm going home. I got home last night. I had three or four chicken breasts left. So I sliced them thin way and I just threw them in a pan, covered it, just soaked it, saturated that deep in barbecue sauce. Buffalo Wild Wings honey barbecue mixed in with Sweet Baby Ray's original. Baked it at 525 for, I don't know, half hour maybe. Turned it down to 450. Cooked it for a little while longer. Made homemade French fries, mac and cheese. Homemade mac and cheese, compliments of Edie. You have no idea. I don't eat mac and cheese. Like, I make it for my partner. She eats it. I don't touch it. Not a fan. I ate it for dinner the other night. Her mac and cheese that Edie made was so good that I just chowed down a big pan of it. So I got to freeze what's left of it. I got a little bit left that I can eat. And then the rest of it's in the freezer. It's good. See, if you were on our app listening right now, instead of this, you'd be listening to our good friend Corey Shorter, a.k.a. Isaiah Cole. Took me a minute. We don't call him that anymore. playing his new song Before You Go. And you can find Corey's music in our U store on 9397 Networks app. So you go on our app, you see a thing that says U store. You go in there, you click the artist, you can buy it. It takes you right to their link, to their music or whatever product they're selling. And you can get right on there, buy their music before other people. So when you're sitting there somewhere listening to people go, oh man, that jam, I love it. What's that? I never heard it. You go, of course you did. Because you're not listening to 9397 Network, you dumb.
Now I need
Duh. So get with it.
attachments.
Here's a snippet. Smooth sailing. Like what we're going to talk about when we get back from break. Smooth sailing, you can buy your own super yacht. Yeah. It's pretty sweet too. But it costs $53,000 to fill it up with gas. Gives you 8,000 mile range. I don't do math in public, but 53,000 and 8,000, you can get 8,000 miles. Let's see. 53,000 divided by 8 equals, oh, that ain't the one I wanted. 8,000 divided by 53,000. I'm not sure how many miles to the gallon you get. At that rate, because I don't do math in public. It's hard to do them kind of story problems. So if I want to find out how much it costs per gallon, if it can go 8,000 miles, yeah. So what was I saying? I don't remember. Oh yeah, 8,000 miles. So I want to figure out if it's 53,000 to fill it up, and you get 8,000, you do 53,000 divided by 8,000 equals 6 miles to the gallon. 6.62 miles to the gallon. National Pet Day. Social media is starting to liven up with everybody getting their pets on there. 2 minutes until we come back. Well, 2.5. We'll come back at 9:30. Yum, yum, pop. Waiting to see Katie's going through security. I told her to pack up all the sex toys and bring them with her, give them something to look at, but no. She wants to play it straight and narrow. Minute 40. Mm-hmm. Oh, tiptoe through the tulips.
Yeah, I need to shake it up a little bit. Pretend it's spring.
What's the worst day of the week that gets us all impressed? Halloween, everyone has you suitcase. Here comes more aggravation and a brand new week of stress. Halloween, everyone has you suitcase. Monday sucks, Monday sucks, Monday sucks. Whatever really makes you want to cry.
How's that for a comeback?
Delightful.
No, not Tiger Woods. What?
I said delightful. What a comeback.
Oh, good one. Boom, boosh. I tap on the desk, but it's against the rules.
Uh-huh.
Rule number 13. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, or 12. I gotta go. Number 11, maybe 12. I don't know. Oh, so many rules to follow. Jesus.
I know. It's
All right, we're back at it.
it's exciting.
on Monday.
Can you put my bright shining face on the screen for the whole world to see, please?
You're on there.
Oh, mine's just sitting in a twirl. Are you seeing it in stream?
You're good to go.
Okay, good. Well, then never mind.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, that's fine. That's on my end then.
Yeah. Got you on split screen.
Right.
We can do it this one. We can do that one. Oh, that one looks a little bit weird. Don't like that.
Yeah.
This one. No, that one.
Yeah.
Same
It's not coming
thing.
up for me, but that's okay. As long as you're seeing it and that's what we're trying to do, then
Yeah. Well,
we
I don't
win.
know what they're seeing, but I know what I'm seeing.
okay.
I
Well,
see you
you're
and
seeing
me,
plenty.
side by side, looking like brother and sister.
You're seeing
You
plenty.
poor thing. You know, I can't. Spring, it's cold out here where we're at and stuff, but spring in the air. It's just mid-April already, and baseball on TV for the weekend, and the Masters golf tournament on. It just springtime. It's a different feel. It's festive.
It is. It
festive.
feels good. We get more daylight, so at least when it is sunny, it's sunny longer, so it doesn't look so drab and dreary outside. It's starting to get warmer. Boy, that's taking its time, but I guess we're going to have a better week this week than last week, and that's good because couldn't have gotten a whole lot worse.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. In my memories from Facebook, right, years gone by,
Right.
2018, April 10th, we had snow on the ground in Detroit,
Right.
Michigan. So,
Yep.
not unheard of for it to be chilly this time of year.
Right.
But we get antsy because we're ready for that weather to break. You don't see me because I've got a full long sleeve shirt on, but I'm not pulling it off. But
Well,
you
up
can
here in
see
the
little tan line there.
no tan line, and up here in the lakes too. I mean, a lot of people live in places where it doesn't stay very cold very long. I mean, ultimately winter happens everywhere, but for a good part of the world, it's a shorter season. For us, it feels like it's forever. I mean, the colder weather kicks in October, early November, and we don't get out of it until about now. So that's a long time to spend sitting indoors and
Correct. Dreaming about, like yesterday, we went out and had fun. We went to eat. We got back, went to the Adam's Apple, and we're all sitting there. It was a beautiful thing, Bob. We're all sitting out there on the patio
all right.
in the sunshine, all gathered, picnic table, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, on the benches, all of us soaking in the vitamin D. I got tan lines. I got a tan yesterday. You can see that I got some sun. And it felt so good to be sitting outside, no jacket. Even a couple people said, damn, Sapphire, you're not wearing a jacket today? Because I'm always cold.
Right.
And I was just soaking in the sun, loving it. Like, and it was nice to see everybody outside. People that didn't even know each other would just come in, go, "Can I sit down?" Join in the conversation. We're all hanging out, having a good time.
Sure.
That's what life's about.
It definitely is. And
You know, didn't matter what race, didn't matter what gender, didn't matter what sexuality, didn't matter what color, didn't matter anything. We're all just people enjoying the beautiful fresh air. We were even pointing out the buds on the trees.
Right.
We were pointing out the birds. We were noticing things. The moon was out yesterday, full force at 2:25 p.m.
I know. That was weird. I saw that. Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah. So I knew on a clear day, if you look hard enough, we can see Uranus, but I didn't know the moon would be out the whole day.
Why put on pants?
Why put on pants when we're all just going to stare at Uranus anyway?
and the moon. The full moon smiling brightly.
With the moon and Uranus above us.
Sounds
Can't
poetic.
go any lower than that.
Sounds poetic.
When you're looking up at the anus, you know you've hit rock bottom.
But don't slap the desk.
Don't slap the desk. We're going to get a sound effect of desk tapping and desk slamming. That way we
That's
go.
right.
But yeah, they got a good point though. But I'm guilty of it. I'll hit the desk, not even thinking about it.
Right.
Or tapping the fingers, you can hear. It's like, girl, what do you got? Nerves? Are you nervous?
Well, that's a nervous thing. I mean, I could sit and blow bubbles with my bubble gum and crack the gum, and that would be equally annoying. I mean, that's
Can't do it in the studio. No gum in the studio.
no gum in the studio.
Even if it's in your mouth.
Well, now that okay.
Well,
They're trying to cover all the bases. I get it.
you'd have to prove that I was chewing gum.
It's easy to
It'd be
swallow.
easy where on video.
Well,
And I'm
you could have just been
slouching,
faking it.
sideways. I was doing good earlier. Oh,
Yep.
Lord.
Nope. Looks nice outside. The other thing you're talking about how nice it was just sitting outdoors. I have to remember in our part of the country where we live that just because the calendar says spring at the end of March, we know that it can be cold in April. But I usually look for the trees and the plants and stuff to be coming up. And every year we don't see a leaf on a tree usually till about the 1st of May. It's very late April, 1st of May. And in your head, when you condition yourself in January to go, okay, spring's in March,
Yeah,
and you
well,
just
you're
picture,
right.
you picture all the greenery and the warmth. And then it's a letdown because you still got another 6 weeks before it really kicks in.
Yeah. No, it's true because we sit there. Yeah, we push it. We're rushing it. We're like, we want warm weather. We want the shorts and the flip flops and the sundresses and the festivals and stuff like that. That's one thing for me. I love going to festivals. Not your carnival stuff. I'm talking about like your arts, beats and eats and your stuff like that, where you got, like, if you're not familiar with arts, beats and eats, it's a local Detroit thing and it's art. So all the artists bring their creativity to light. Beats, music, eats, food. When you mix art, food, and music, it's a party.
You got a good time.
And I love walking, people watching, and I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's dangerous nowadays, though. Anytime more than two are gathered,
There's that risk.
you could hear gunshots.
Or you could have an uptick in COVID exposure.
Yeah, well, there's an optimistic view about COVID.
I think we can pull this together. I'm optimistic. I really genuinely are. Man. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's it. The lives, you think about it. I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. I mean, this idea of, Slow Joe.
Papa Joe.
Oh, Grandpa Joe. TikTok challenge pro tip.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of this. If you hurt yourself, everyone laughs at what an idiot you are, right? But if you hurt other people, everyone laughs at what an idiot you are as you're being arrested.
They're just saying, glad it wasn't me.
I go to college to get more knowledge, but this guy, Warren Brinson, University of Georgia football player, is now under arrest facing misdemeanor charges after accused of the Orbeez Challenge shooting. Remember the Orbeez Challenge we talked about 2 weeks ago?
Refresh me. I know we talked about it. I'm trying to think of what it was, though.
So the Orbeez is a gun. It's an Orbeez. They create these guns.
Okay.
It's like beads, and people are shooting each other with them.
Yeah, I remember now.
So the Orbeez Challenge is to go out and be an idiot and shoot people with a gun. Now, the police have been warning about this Orbeez Challenge. It encourages people to shoot strangers with small gel-like beads that expand when placed in water.
Right.
Blame Orbeez if you want to, but I blame the trigger puller.
Well, you have to.
So this clown, Brinson, charged on 2 counts of misdemeanor simple battery, 3 counts of reckless conduct. He was in his vehicle. He pulls up to a group of people. He thought he knew them, but he was mistaken. So he shoots his buddies that were not his buddies, and they call the police, and he gets arrested. He's out on $3,000 bond, which I'm not mad about.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though he's stupid, he's not dumb. And it makes no sense. But he wasn't trying to kill nobody. He was doing something stupid.
Right.
Yes, he should be in trouble. Yes, he should be charged with everything they accused him of. But I'm not mad about the $3,000 bond because I believe that if he gets out, he will not be doing this again. He's not a hardened criminal who just pulled off a armed robbery at a grocery store or a party store or a gas station. Obviously, what he did was stupid. Obviously, what he did was dangerous. And obviously, what he did was wrong. What it wasn't was deadly. Potentially anything is, but...
Mm-hmm. Well, but again, running around with a gun of any kind, whether it's, a play toy or how real it looks or is or isn't. I mean, that just causes, in the environment we live in today, that's kind of a big deal. It
could get you killed. You point a gun at somebody, expect to get shot.
Yeah. Because
you're not going to take the time to go, could that be a fake gun or not? No, you're going to defend yourself. Shoot them.
Yep.
And it's cold-blooded, but it's true. Shoot them. What do you expect when you point a gun at somebody?
Well, when it's, you're faced with the choice, it's you or me, and you don't know what's lurking there, then, yeah.
It's not my fault you chose a projectile shooter less powerful than mine, but it's still a gun nonetheless. So, not my fault you pulled out a BB gun in a 10-millimeter gunfight.
Yep.
Whose fault is that? Like, you're free to go, clean the blood up, put the body in a body bag, and we'll get him free to go too.
And everybody move along. Nothing to see here. Yes.
Nothing to see here. Another dead man dumb. Dumb man dead. Whatever.
Yep. Well, they mean the same thing.
Yeah. And I don't condone the violence, but what do you expect when you do that?
No.
You point a gun at somebody, expect to get return fire.
Yeah. Why does it... It's the common sense thing that we keep knowing that people don't use. They either do you think you're that? Do you think you're that invincible? Do you? I mean, what is it? What in the world makes people do some of the stuff they do? You're obviously not invincible. You hear about it on the news every night. Another this, that, and the other. You know.
Oh, people lost their minds. I mean,
yeah,
people don't care about nothing. That Sacramento shooting was gang violence. 2 people shooting at, or gang members shooting at one another, innocent people in the middle of it. There's no couth. There's no honor amongst thieves anymore. There's no any of that.
Mm-mm.
Not that I can explain honor amongst thieves anyway, but you know the old saying.
Right. No, there used to be, even with crimes being committed and things like that, that there used to be certain rules that were just that. Well, when you talk about war crimes, I mean, that's another example. You know, it's like you don't go after civilians. You're fighting the war. You're going after the warriors. You're not trying to destroy the citizenry. But look what happens, you know.
Yeah. Well, all in the name of money.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, let's see. Not only is it National Pet Day, but it is National, I don't know, Day.
National I Don't Know Day? It's National 8-Track Tape Day.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was wanting to think of. I couldn't think of it. The 8-Track Tape Day. People go, what is that?
Yeah, at least half people listening have no idea.
Amazing technology from 8-track tapes to now our computer phone that houses everything.
Sure.
This thing in my hand right here is amazing. And no, it's not what you're thinking. It's a phone.
Well, maybe it is too. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it would be considered amazing.
I'm sure you'd consider it amazing. No, seriously.
Well, everybody considers their own amazing.
Well, mine's amazing. Of course it is.
Oh, 8-track tape day. I had a 1977 Cadillac, powder blue with an 8-track tape player that came with the Elvis 8-track.
Yeah. So
Otherwise,
true.
I wouldn't have had one.
So true. Yeah, some of the bands from the 60s, the musical from the 50s and 60s were on 8-tracks because I remember when I was that young, enough to remember an 8-track. They'd been around already when I was like 8 years old. So,
1964, Bill Lear of Learjet Corporation, along with Ampex, Ford Motor Company, General Motors, Motorola, and RCA, created the 8-track tape, also known as Stereo 8.
Yep.
First player released in 1965.
Mm-hmm. And we thought it was such a cool thing because it was more portable, obviously, than a turntable and the vinyl, which came before that. Mm-hmm. And you'd be listening to your song, and the thing about an 8-track tape means that there's 8 segments to whatever's on there. So if you're playing a song, it would flip to another track right in the middle of the song. But still, the portability of it was amazing at that time, and you tolerated that little blip to be able to take your tunes.
You had no choice.
Right. But
in September of 1965, Ford Motor Company introduced factory-installed and dealer-installed 8-track tape players as an option to buyers on the Thunderbird, the Mustang, and the Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And there were upgrades for anything after the 1967 model through the 80s. Many cars and trucks had the 8-track tape players.
Right. Well, because they'd been sold earlier, sure. I would say it seemed to me that the 8-track hit its demise pretty quickly.
Yes. 82, they were done.
Yeah, it phased out pretty fast when cassettes became the next thing.
Well, new technology took over. When people started figuring out the magnetic tape, they started figuring out what became smaller version, like anything.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
The cell phones of the 80s were a lot larger than today. as well as computers.
Okay.
Now, in 1982, the phasing out of the retail sales of 8 tracks, some available at 88. But yeah, by the late 80s, there was pretty much, you have a what? You know? So.
I remember them. They were still in vogue, I remember, in my teens, and they were becoming vintage by the time, like you say, by the time the 80s came around, it was all about the new thing, the cassette. So cars then came with cassette players, and, the cartridges were a lot smaller.
Yeah. Cassette came around, and then CDs came around.
CDs
and now
were
you
after
just
that.
buy your music and have it on your phone and play whatever you want, whenever you want, and you're your own radio station. But you can't get talk out of your phone. Well, you can, but you can program all the stuff in your music, but you can't get a radio talk personality like that. You got to listen for that.
Well, that's it. I mean, with podcasts and that's kind of the next thing now, where you can choose that. But it's not quite the same, yeah.
No, exactly. All right, let's see here. We got the Capers of Katie's Adventure.
Katie's adventuring.
She is going to Memphis.
Oh my!
And she's going through security. With crystals.
Well, I was going to say, this ought to be interesting.
I told her to pack the sex toys too, but
well, yeah. You might as well give them something to look at, right?
I know. I'll be like, wow, you really go big, huh?
Uh-huh.
Girl her size, it would look like she packed a third leg in her suitcase.
Yeah. No lie.
Where are you going to fit that thing, little girl?
She says, don't you worry.
We'll find a spot. Don't worry about it.
It's not for you to worry about.
For me to know and you to find out when you look at Pornhub.
That's it.
Just type in the Great Abyss when you get to Pornhub. You'll find it.
Oh, boy. The Great Abyss.
Yeah. 8-track tapes. I remember them well.
Man, yeah, that brings them back, the memories. That's
kids won't remember it.
And the other thing, National Cheese Fondue Day, you could be eating your cheese fondue while you were listening to your 8-track tapes.
Good Lord, that sounds good.
I know.
A cheese fondue to me is nachos and cheese.
No, well, kind of, yeah. Kind
of. But they got different things. I know it's different cheeses. And then people make a thing out of it.
Well, sure. Well, and you can dip different things in it too. I mean, nachos and that are great, chips and cheese, but you can cut up little sausages. You can, depending on the cheese, you could have little broccolis. You could, and it's always like on a toothpick or a skewer kind of thing, and you dip it in. And
I like steak fondue.
Yeah.
Terrible for you.
Oh yeah.
But you cut up the steaks, get the oil nice and hot. And you're deep frying steak, steak bites. Baby, that's so good with some open pit. Oh, man.
There is nothing wrong with that except all the pills you end up buying afterwards, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, cholesterol. I got to get my cholesterol down, my heart murmur, my berberigmus, But every pill you take, there's a trade-off.
Anti-barbarigmus, anti-gas. It's like we have all of our aunties are there.
You need antibiotics, probiotics.
Yes.
How about we just eat right? It's a weird concept.
Well, yeah. Sounds much fun.
I have no intention on eating right when I get home. Barbecue chicken, mac and cheese.
You're going big, aren't you?
Oh, man, you darn right. I got things I got to take care of today with the dogs. It's my first day alone with the children's.
Okay.
And just so happens that it's a day that we got things that need to be done for them. And it's a pleasure to do it. I love the little doggies. But got to do that. Then I got to go to film my game tonight. Then I'm going to be bacheloretting it. I'll be sleeping. I'm going to have to sleep on the couch because my dogs will not go to bed when my partner's not home.
Wow.
They'll be up all night in the living room waiting for her, so I can't go to bed because they'll be howling and crying. And so we'll all three be howling and crying. Where's Katie?
She's the glue.
Make my lunch.
She's the glue that holds the house together.
Really, though, in a lot of ways, it's true. I do most of the cooking.
Okay.
I do 99% of the cooking, maybe more.
Right.
But she does 99% of other things.
Right.
So it's a definite trade-off. We don't. Like, I don't demand her to cook. She don't like to cook. Right. She don't like to cook. I don't mind it. I like getting in there and doing my thing. You can't force that on somebody.
No.
You don't like to cook, and I do like to cook. What a great trade-off. Why force things?
Right. Oh,
Some
absolutely.
people do. Some people go, no. We got to split the cooking. This isn't fair. Well, come on. If they don't like doing it and you do like doing it, you're just being a jerk now.
Right.
Forcing them to do something they don't like just for the mere fact of doing it. That's not a relationship.
No, it works out great when somebody likes to. I don't mind cooking, and I would try certain creative things, but they never came out quite right. But having the one in the house that loves to cook and serve up things, I mean, I won't say I'm lazy because, again, if it's something that somebody likes and they're doing it, I feel like I'm giving them the gift, the opportunity to provide me with another.
It's okay to not like cooking. It's okay to not like cleaning.
That's
you still got to do it, right? You got to be able to cook. You got to be able to clean, but you know.
Well, I want them to feel fulfilled, and when they feel fulfilled, then my tummy feels fulfilled. So that works out perfectly.
Yeah,
perfectly.
Ready for birthdays?
Let's do birthdays. Birthday. Who's got a birthday?
You get a birthday. You get a birthday. Everybody gets a birthday.
Everybody gets a birthday. Actor Joel Grey, who I've heard the name a lot. I'm trying to think of what he's been in, but he turns 90 today. He's a big 9-0 for the man. Actor Bill Irwin, 72. He appeared as a Chicago White Sox player, Eddie Collins, in the film 8 Men Out. Not seen the film, but it's a baseball film. Sounds like
we cannot pass up the happy birthday to rapper Suicide Christ.
Let's not forget Suicide Christ.
It would be cursed not to.
You're right. Singer Lisa Stansfield is 56. She had a couple of nice, I don't want to say jazzy, maybe a little jazzy, a little pop jazz kind of thing. Good songs. Rapper David Banner is 48. I've not heard of rapper David.
Hulk? David Banner, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
That's what you would think, yeah. That's what you would think.
He was the mild-mannered human that was the Incredible Hulk.
Ethel Kennedy, wife of Bobby Kennedy, is 94 today.
Wow, a Kennedy that lived.
Wow, longevity. Yes. You go, girl.
Good for you.
And Dustin.
Like the Nantucket.
For sure. Stop. And Dustin Goldust Rhodes, pro wrestler who I've never seen. He's 54.
Stu chimed in. I love to cook, but sometimes a break is nice. Yep, absolutely.
That's what restaurants are for.
Yeah.
That's what restaurants are for.
Right. All right, if you're celebrating, is that for birthdays? We good?
That's it for birthdays today.
All right, if you're celebrating your birthday, happy freaking birthday.
Have a great one.
Yeah, I hope it's mediocre at best.
Oh.
No, just kidding.
Jeez, birthday crab.
I know, right? What the hell is wrong with this bitch?
What is wrong?
You know, there's that great philosopher, and he talked about Jill puts notes up on my mirror, which must be the more I shave.
Oh, lordy.
That man.
Oh, you gotta love him.
That man.
Or something. You gotta laugh at him anyway.
Right.
What a world we live in. What a time to be alive.
Sure.
Yeah, if you say so.
Sure.
Oh, where are we at? 9:50. Oh, look at that. Boom. It just felt right.
It did, didn't it?
It just
Everything's
seemed like
falling right into place.
felt like it's time to go. I don't know. It's so weird. All right, that does it for us. Thank you for letting us in your house, car, or wherever you were listening today. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Or perhaps you were watching on the live stream. We are on the app 9397 Network as well as live streaming on the 9397 Network app, Facebook and YouTube, as well as Sapphire'S Soup du Jour. Thank you for listening. And remember, opinions are a dime a dozen. Validation is for parking, and loyalty is not a word. It's a lifestyle. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in someone else's pocket. And in a world where we can be anything, be kind. We have no idea what a kind word or a friendly smile could do to impact someone's day. Might even change their life forever.
It could.
Monday's over. Until Wednesday, I'm Sapphire Pates.
I'm just Bob.
We're out of here. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Enjoy a private night, candles burning bright, music way down low.
Another Corey Shorter song.
Ah.
I see Stu. We're still on the broadcast. It says, Stu, I love to cook, but sometimes a break is nice. My glasses are a little weird. It looked like it said I love cock, but sometimes a break is nice. Yeah, sometimes, you switch to the pussy every now and again.
Clean your glasses, girl.
All right, that's it for the broadcast. Thank you for watching. We'll see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.